Okay, so here's the deal. I was looking at the comments on my Raw review, and a lot of people alerted me to the fact that the WWE 2K14 trailer is out. And I didn't know this, actually. Totally lost track of time. Wasn't really keeping track of, these release dates for the upcoming WWE titles. And shame on me, I guess. Because this is what I do. I talk about wrestling on this channel a lot of the time, and video games. So I should be talking about wrestling video games. It's my duty as an American. Yeah. So anyway, about this game's trailer, very unimpressed. Yeah. Okay, so you got a new developer. It's 2K14 Sports, that's okay. It's a fake sport, professional wrestling, but why not let somebody else take a crack at it? I mean, God only knows, Ukes has developed every single fucking wrestling game since SmackDown on the PlayStation 1. I mean, like, holy shit. I mean, yeah, WWE 13. They did change the name of it, but it basically is SVR. Let's be perfectly honest. They've changed the controls, they've updated the graphics, they've updated the rosters. But here's the thing about these games that just fucking piss me off. They take things away, they put them back in, they add new content, they take things away, they increase the roster, they decrease the roster. The thing is, okay, I get it. That's the same thing with all types of sports games. Like the NBA roster, it changes. There's drafts. They switch people around. Got it. That's fine. And another thing is, like, you might criticize, it's wrestling. How many things can they do at wrestling? Well, that's the problem about this game. I don't really hear a lot of talk about new modes. The rumors surrounding this game don't sound promising. I really haven't read anything that they said this game's going to do anything different. I can't really think of anything that could be different. I think that a really, really deep story mode could really turn this game around, but we never get that. There was an attempt at it a couple of times, but it always ends up being linear and just falls apart at the end. But let's just talk about what's evident in the trailer. The graphics. And the gameplay, from what I've seen, the gameplay, just how the characters are moving around, looks very similar to WWE 13. And I know you might call bullshit on me because this is a completely different developer. Still, they obviously took notes. People bought those SmackDown games. That's why there's so many of them. And there's a new one every year. And why they jumped at the chance to buy the rights to this game. And that's what it is. 2K14 is still a continuation of the SmackDown series, pretty much. The way how they're talking about it and promoting it, it is still connected to it. So they're not going to change a lot of it, I don't think, based on what they've said. And it looks sort of similar. Now, I noticed it's just something about the graphics. They look not a lot, but a little bit worse, like more cartoony. Like, I don't know. Like, for some reason, the game for the first Xbox, Raw, went through my head. Like, where it wasn't, like, ultra-realistic looking, like it was a little bit cartoony, like the shading makes it look a little bit, like, not as real, not as realistic, and that's what I'm getting from this trailer. And also the trailer is a little bit misleading. It's like, and it's kind of just, like, filled with fluff. It's a lot of, like, just flashes really quick of gameplay. And it's The Rock and Stone Cold narrating with random catchphrases. And basically, you can tell that they're, like, trying to, like, reinvent the series or make it at least appear that they're reinventing it. Because we know that they're not going to do the Attitude Era thing again. They're just trying to get in the old fans to come back to the game series, basically. You know, so they're going to see Stone Cold and the Rock. They're like, oh, you know what? I haven't played one of them games in a long time. Maybe I'll go back to them again. And to those fans, I say, don't even bother. Because I know exactly what this game is going to be. It's going to be WWE 13. They might change a couple of things with the controls, but they're probably going to keep them similar. Because that's the thing with these games. Some people either worship the controls from a certain pack of games that had the same controls. Then there's other people who hate them, then they change them, and then people hate the change, and they wish they would go back to the old controls. And you pretty much just can't make anybody happy. In the SVR community, people, oh my god, I remember when I would go there so I could like create a wrestler and create like wrestlers that were in the game. The fans are just ridiculous. I mean, you got fans just complaining basically that they don't have the moon in the game or some shit like that. Or that superstar Billy Graham is not in there. Like, people have like all these crazy ideas of what this game is supposed to be. Like the ring is supposed to levitate or some shit. I don't know what the fuck fans expect out of this series. It is wrestling. What the fuck do you expect out of this shit? I mean, seriously, it's just very unimpressive graphics, to say the least. I don't know what system's hardware they're showcasing this on, but it didn't impress me much, to say the very least. And you know, and that's the problem. It's just like, all these games are the fucking same. They are the same, no matter what it is. You know, like WWE 12. It was like supposed to be like the start of something else, moving away from SmackDown versus Raw. But it still was basically the same game with just slightly different controls. But it still looked like SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 and 2010 and 2009. Yeah. So that's the problem facing this game. It's just all very familiar. So, you know, like I've said, I'm not saying this game sucks. I'm not saying anything about it yet. I'm just saying I'm unimpressed and I need to see way more. And I need to see 2K14, like, taking this game more seriously. And, you know, they've been really secretive about it. I don't understand, like, these WWE games. Every other fucking game and every other sports game, you know what's going to be in it. Like, months and months in advance. They wait till, like, literally, like, 2 months before the game is released to give you, like, the final fucking roster. And, like, last year was, like, ridiculous. Like, Ryback was a downloadable character, even though he was in the company, like, 8 months before the game was released. So, like, don't give me that shit. Like, oh, the roster's not ready yet. That roster is usually, like, ready even before the summer. Like the roster is probably finalized right now. But they won't tell us. Because they're obviously, like, not finished and they rush the game. And that's usually why a lot of these games seem very half-assed a lot of times. And why certain things are left out that were in previous year's edition. Like, I don't understand. They're always figuring out new ways to put more memory onto a game disc, onto those fucking DVDs and Blu-rays. And somehow they're actually taking, like, a giant step backwards with each game. Like, more and more shit is ripped out of the original. And you're like, where the fuck did this shit go? It's just not there. So yeah, you know, it's just all too familiar, and I really have to see them, like, somebody has to be interviewed. They have to sit them down and say, look, what the fuck is new with this game? You know, you're the new developer. What are you going to do to change this game to make people, like, want to buy this? Like, are you basically going to be buying an updated version of WWE 13? Because so far, you know, the little bit of fanfare that has been surrounding this game suggests just that. So yeah, I just got to see more.